So what we had discussed yesterday, I think this is a follow-up meeting from yesterday. Yesterday it was really to actually it was to try to get us on the same page. Not everybody had started working on the proposal, so I think yesterday was good because the educators, the ones on the Kenya side, started now to work on the project actively, and they started with that constructive alignment exercise where we aligned the objectives with the outcomes and the problem statement. That was good and necessary. And I think the most important thing seemed to be that they owned that document from their perspective, you see. So their perspective is now well represented within the document. But it does mean that we need to review the document to ensure that those objectives, questions, and let's say outcomes are supported by the methodology. This is the job of Gatune, to ensure that the methodology now reflects what is in those objectives and the problem statement. Now, but today's meeting is critical, not so much continuous necessarily with yesterday's, but as the next step towards completing the proposal itself. And this one involves itemizing the activities, the roles, and the resources. As we were discussing in the group, the activities, roles, and resources, as we know, are necessary for budgeting purposes and even for scheduling purposes. If we're saying we're going to finish in 1.5 years, it will very much depend on what the activities are, what our capacity is as co-applicants and applicants, and what resources we have. And all that impacts again on the budget. So there is that aspect that needs to be clear as we enter into this last phase, which involves ultimately budgeting. So what I will do, I'll basically share the tools we're using, the instruments we're using for the purpose of documenting the schedule. Let me not say the schedule, but the activities, and also the tools that we're using for the purpose of budgeting. The Annex 5 and Annex 6, in fact, it's Annex 6, which is core to this exercise, and it's provided to us by the core. So I'll share that, and we can start the exercise, I suppose, of creating a framework for the budgeting. So let me share my screen. Let me know if you can see my screen. You can see?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'll do, I think for continuity's sake, it's not a bad idea for me to just take a look at the document as it was. This is just to review what we went through yesterday. One of the things I just want to mention is that we had earlier prepared this table, which has all the links that we require for uploading and all that. But it's got everything. So you can imagine these are 21 different links. Not all of them are relevant at the moment. So what I've done, I've prepared another list here, which I'll share the link with you. This one, this is now a page which I'll be updating regularly. And I've called it Important Links for the EDUFI. Is it EDUFI? Call Project Proposal. Yes? So I'll zoom into this. Let me see how to hide this. Hide this. Okay. So this is the one that I'm preparing. And why I say this is to simplify our communication on the WhatsApp. So if, let's say, Karanja needs to, someone asks and Karanja needs to show them the links that we're using, instead of sharing different links, we just share this one link. This one link has all the different links that we require. Like you see, the one for the CV is here. The one here for the submission folder associated with Annex 2, which is the one for CV applications, is here also. So you come to number 2, the Annex 4 mandates statement. When we have the scanned documents, the form that we have to fill in is Annex 4. It's here. And then the folder submission is right here, the one that is allowing us to submit the folder to the consortium. Number 3 is the proposal document itself. The rough draft link we've been working on is here. Some people still can't access, so I've just kept it here. That's the rough draft. The one which is being compiled or synthesized by Katune is Annex 1. It's this one. So we can view it. The idea is that we the co-applicants don't work on Annex 1. It's worked on by Katune, so he decides what he's extracting from the rough draft, which is the one we're working on, to put here. And he makes sure that it fits the words. There are a number of words restricting, so he makes sure it all fits. So that's number 3. But the links are here. We can view it as he does it, which means we can also advise.
So have you agreed? Have you agreed with him that?
Yeah, he's aware, but it's going to be in these minutes, and then after this meeting, I will discuss minutes with him because he's not here, and he will now know for sure. Even if it slipped his mind, we'll keep repeating until he knows. Yeah, you see, he's the principal applicant, and there's a strategy he's using to compile. Yeah, he's even using a strategy. He tells me that the Maastricht themselves have a department for submitting these proposals. So things like, there's an Annex 5. Let me show you Annex 5, for example, just so that you are familiar with it. Here, Annex 5, it's loading. It's for the applicant, the principal investigator. You see this one? It says you give your previous project experience. There's a template for that here. And of course, it should be relevant. And they ask different questions on it. But there's a section where you put in your project title. This can be a tall list, but your project title, location, all this, and you make it fit on one page. So what Maastricht do with their department is they have a department that has that experience. It has that list. So they're able to fill in this even on behalf of Katune and make sure that they have something competitive. So I suppose this is an advantage. So he's working.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the kind of strategy he's using. It's not only him, but he has a team behind him.
Very good.
And there's a requirement, as we might remember, for the principal to support 10% of the grant that we're asking for. So that involves also the university, and this department secures that commitment from the university for him. So again, it somehow facilitates him in applying for this grant. It makes things, I think, more streamlined. Okay, so that's just for clarity's sake, because sometimes I think if we don't say it, then we assume then people ask questions. They're not very sure what we're doing, but it's all coming from the document. Number 4 is now the link here for the work schedule, which I have not yet put up, but I'm going to put it up after this, and then I will share the link here. The work schedule is essentially, a Gantt chart, but it's not asking for a Gantt chart. It's asking for a list of our activities, but those activities are based on time, and when you have activities and time, you have a Gantt chart. But I'll provide this schedule. It's a draft. It'll lead to a draft budget. Now, this draft budget, we can fool around with it. We can go there. In fact, we should go there and construct it, co-construct it, all of us, so that the budget is having consensus from all of us. Money can be a sensitive thing. And I think the best thing is when we all input in writing our budget projections so that we can discuss, we can harmonize and agree even before the money comes if we win. Okay, and I think this is, we all know, I mean, it's better to agree on these things early than to agree when the money is there, and then there can be disagreements which are fundamental. Now, the Annex 6 is the Consolidated Consortium Budget Table. That's what they call it. It's here. Let me show you. It's this one. They call it that. And on the left sidebar, over here where I'm showing, you can see a list of tasks which they've itemized using a method of task 1, and it has subtasks. subtask 1.1, subtask 1.2. They want us to break it down that way. And it's both activities and results. This list is not just the activity, but also the outcome or the result of that activity. So it goes on indefinitely. We're the ones now to decide how long it is or how full it is. They want us to put or categorize cross-cutting activities. You can see that here. There's a knowledge management component, the one that Elizabeth talks about. There's a communication and dissemination component. There's other. If we have other, we need to mention. Now, let me suggest for other, for example, it might be resources, because our countries are resource short. We don't have enough resources for doing many of these things. So that might be under other, but we can. There's a category for that. They have a category here for general means and operating costs. These will be things like, I suppose, per diems. They're quite specific. So when we read through this, you can see there's an asterisk here on operating costs. Let me see if I can find it down here. I don't see it really well. I zoom in. Yeah. Well, they have the 3 asterisks, the 4 asterisks. The 3 asterisks means overheads that be reimbursed by the contracting authority, and they are limited to 7%. And then the 4 asterisks are contingency reserve to be reimbursed by the contracting authority and are limited to 5%. I suppose the contracting authority is EDUFI. I suppose they're the ones. And they're saying they'll reimburse for contingencies. That means we have to keep receipts for that reimbursement up to a limit of 7% and 5%. Okay, so you can see. So we have here the operating costs here. You can see there are 2 sections under management. They have human resources and operational expenses. These operational expenses, I suppose, are the field expenses, the things that take us to the field. But these human resource expenses are our costs, the costs of our services and our team. Maybe we also have teams behind us. So we need to think about that. Cross-cutting, we can discuss. It would be good. So Elizabeth is preparing this section of knowledge management. She feels very much that she should do it. I'm not even certain what it is exactly, but we wrote about it in the proposal. But we can discuss. Again, these are the tasks that we will discuss just now. We'll discuss those just now. And then on the side over here now is the spread. The way the EDUFI expect us to manage or distribute the funds is equally. They expect the 2 regions to get equal representation. There's no one region that gets more than the other. In the interests of balancing and also equity and things like that, they expect equal weighting. These are the partners. They also expect, I don't know to what extent they expect the partners to be equally weighted, but you can see here that there are different columns for each partner. The lead organization is here. This is a discussion we will have. So it's broken down that way. And then these tasks are spread across all of us. So the tasks we're talking about, we could say are cross-cutting, but at the same time, they are, you can say, global or translatable to all our different roles. They're not, for example, unique to any of us. They're all cutting across. So that's how it's looked at. And then down here, we do the summation so that we get an itemized, let's say, general means and operating cost, itemized for each one of us, and then an itemized human resource cost and an itemized operations cost. That's what this is. This is just a sample they've given, so it's not, we've not done anything on this one. It's on the template that they gave us. So it's not complicated, especially if we know our activities. It's very straightforward. And it allows us to have sub-activities. I think we can even have sub-activities. So I have a sample we've looked at. Gatune has worked on something. I've tried to also work on something with him. And now I wanted to just ask if you have questions or anything that you'd like us to discuss before I go through that one. Anything you'd like us to discuss? or even any questions.
Uh,
Yes, go ahead. Mhm.
what I'm saying, man, we seem to have a strategy. So I think we move with this. I think as
Yeah.
at the end of the day, is packaging the whole information the way it's spread. So
Yes. Okay, that's correct. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. You want to say something, Abdi? Okay. All right. So let me open up the documents that we have. Now, this is the document that I'll be putting up on Google Drive, but it'll be, you know, different from what you see here. I've been slightly more simplified, but I wouldn't. Don't worry about column D to J over here because these are just helping me generate the Gantt chart. The main thing are the activities, and the activity list is column B and C. I've just highlighted them there. Okay, and then I'll be numbering them on the side depending on how many we have. Right now, the numbers don't matter. I've just left gaps for us to decide. So, what the methodology that Prof. Gatune has recommended is what he's calling a sequential mixed method approach, and it's based on 4 streams. So, stream one, he calls it work stream. So work stream one, work stream two, work stream three, and work stream four are represented here. What he's suggesting is that we have in workstream one a period during which we are collecting, analyzing, and you could say systematically reviewing the literature. And it's with a purpose of now designing our research design and research methodology in detail. So that's what workstream one is about. It's really about the planning phase for the entire, you can say, research. And it has its time. Um, it has its activities as well. Okay, and they're twofold. We'll discuss this now. Workstream two now looks at preliminary, you can say exploratory, or you could say it could be confirmatory research, where we are either exploring new phenomena that we are looking for that requires us to do a bit of research. It's mainly qualitative, but we need to find this phenomena to answer questions that may not be answerable because of the gaps that exist. So that's on one hand. On the other hand, there are phenomena that is known to, for example, the education team. They already know, and they have it in the literature, confirming what they know. Research done in Kenya and Ethiopia that is already known, but just needs confirmation for various details that we may have to agree on in the design. So those are the indicators that Elizabeth is asking about. So what is it that we are actually hunting for that is known and we want to confirm? And what is it that is not known that we need to discover? Where are those gaps that we're looking for? So the activities here are more in line with, let's say, systematic review of the literature. It could be to do with, let's say, ethnographic studies, which will involve going to the field. It might be to do with participant observation or whatever we decide. But it's really about asking questions to confirm that our thoughts, our knowledge, our what we're saying is our knowledge gap is correct, and we have evidence for that. So we're hunting for that, and that's what this section workstream is about. It looks at the situation on the ground. It does stakeholder mapping and reporting. This is something that Katuna is calling an inception report that we prepare so that we now have a basis for forming hypotheses for more quantitative work, which will follow. So there are two parts to this. There is this first part called the situational analysis and stakeholder mapping and reporting, but the second part is the data collection and the contextual understanding. So it involves collecting this data from various means and sources, whatever we decide, and of course, the analysis of it. And from there, we form our hypotheses for the next stage, which is stage three. Um, all this is discussive. I mean, it's not confirmed. Nothing here is confirmed. It's just a framework which we are putting up for the purpose of discussion. So now we come to this stage, which is the work stream three. which is a quasi-experimental intervention, design, and evaluation. So this one requires us to have built, to do some modeling, to have designed something. In fact, in the previous segment, we do some baseline assessment, some trend and signal analysis, and also what's called, knowledge compilation, so that we can now form hypotheses and design an experimental intervention which will take us to the field to run more quantitative tests, which will give us more quantitative information. That's what we're saying we'll be doing in now Stream 3. I see Katune has joined us. Karibu. And then,
Thank you, thank you.
yes, yes.
My network is very weak here.
Okay, so so there are two parts. This approach will be iterative, using an iterative methodology. We'll have to decide on this. It could be action research, maybe if it's most depends on what we're doing. But if it's technological, it might use the uh, methodologies that lend themselves now to technology. But the idea is to use an iterative strategy to run these quasi experiments in real world settings, get information that will provide evidence for workstream 4. Workstream 4 is where, again, I'm just speaking on behalf of Gatune, but I also share his opinion, is that we will now do what we're saying is platform development and material production. Okay, this is under what we're saying is knowledge management, dissemination, and learning. We can discuss that. The platform really is a means by which we can create a forum for, you can say, implementing what we are saying is the solution. And our solution, at least what we're targeting, is to bring stakeholders together so that they can have meaningful discussions which can, you can say, influence policy. So what kind of platform that should come out of this? And then material production would be things like policy briefs and guidelines, best practices, things like those, which can be documented in government and even non-governmental organizations, I suppose. And then we have the second part of work stream 4, which is the learning and community engagement component, where we look at community engagement. Okay, here we're trying to establish communities of practice, and so we need to figure out how to do that. I mean, this is possibly what we'll be planning in the work stream 1. And then here we have interactive learning, where the goal is to create situations where we have organizing policy labs and peer-to-peer learning workshops to create some kind of impact or engagement. And hopefully the community itself will own the products that we're producing. So these are written generally, and what we are saying is we need to populate this with the ideas that we feel would fit into this. So just to speak again on behalf of Prof, he can come in and also clarify. But when we say it's a mixed method to begin with, we start off with a systematic review of the literature. That is somewhat textual, analysis, or a textual method of collecting data, but we can quantify it. So it becomes literally, a quantitative approach to research. But once we've done that, and we move into the more explorative phenomena finding phase, where we're trying to look for phenomena that we may not know, gap finding and things like that, that would be more qualitative. The information we get might be more based on observation, based on interviews, discussions, and this kind of information, which is really about discovery of the new phenomena. So it's sequential in the sense that it is following after. You have to start with work stream 1. Partly it's planning, but partly it's also getting information from the literature, which we can analyze. But once we have that, we now can write our questions, and those questions will be answered in a much more in situ kind of research, where we are on site. It's just a proposal. I mean, of course, we can go the way we want to go. And then we move on. That's number two here. And then we move on to the um, preparation for what we would say is more experimental or interventionist, using the quasi-experimental approach in work stream 3. And again, it's sequential because there's a codependence. One, we have to complete the quest. We have to answer the questions and then form the hypotheses based on that, which will now be the precursor to this work stream 3. So again, there's a set of sequential flow. But the information we get in work stream 2 is
Martin, your voice.
oh, I see. Sorry. The information we get in work stream 2 is qualitative. The information we get in work stream 3 may be more quantitative. But they still might be mixed. It depends very much on us and how we decide. But once we have the combination of all the qualitative and quantitative information, that's our mixed method. We're now well placed to start developing the products that would provide the solution that we're recommending. And the products we can itemize and run activities to produce them. Okay, so that's the whole thing. And where we're inviting the group participation is to fill in these gaps. I left these gaps here so that you can come in and fill in. So even this is not restrictive. If you have more gaps, you simply, this is it will be a Google worksheet. You just add, there's no worries. You click add and then type in whatever you have to type in. Don't worry about column D onward. I might even hide them. These ones are just to generate the Gantt chart automatically from these activities. I will just leave one column here.
It's fine. Let me come there.
Your food, have you eaten?
No.
Okay.
Okay, let's
Yeah, I think his mic is on. I'll leave a column here just for you to put the number of days, okay, for your activity to be in days. Because if you see it happening for months, you just calculate the days. It can be 70 days if that's the activity. But I'll leave a column for that because the Gantt chart automatically generates from from what we type in as the number of days. So that will be good. I mean, it's only for our purpose. The call doesn't require a Gantt chart. I didn't see anywhere where it requires it. But it's kind of good for us to be able to create one so that we can interrogate the whole idea, even our plan, much more realistically. Because we can see not only calculate, but we can see that it can fit the 18 months. That's really the purpose of the Gantt chart right now. But I'm pretty sure if, let's say, we were to advance, I mean, we can be sure that they will ask us to present a Gantt chart and a much more detailed schedule anyway. So if we're ready, that would be good. So the way this is structured, and we're requesting the input of the group, is that the work streams, we can keep that as standard because it's simply a way of phasing the work. But each work stream has a subtitle, or it has a title. So the title is underneath the work stream. There are two of them. There's this one and this one. So it just allows for the different, you can say, skill sets that we have to lend themselves to whichever one of the two that we feel would work. We simply, of course, they work in tandem. These are not two separate processes. They work together, maybe even in parallel. For example, if you look at the first one here, we're talking about project coordination and management under work stream 1. And remember, work stream 1 is concerned with it's the planning phase. It's where we're doing the preliminary research and plan. So we look at the performance assessment and mitigation. Okay, how are we going to assess performance? What is success? And how are we going to mitigate or correct or self-correct as we go if we find problems? So it looks at that. And on the side, we're explaining it. We're saying by organizing meetings to track progress and to take action. That's how we'll, assess performance, how we're doing, and also how we'll mitigate and correct and self-correct as we go. The next one is tracking and monitoring, implementing mitigation strategies. That's for number 2. Number 3, team formation and contract management. So this is an ongoing thing. We are like, let's say 5 groups amongst us, the main applicant and the 4 co-applicants. But we have associates, we have partners and others who will join us along the way, maybe even consultants. So this is something we need to have in our plan, and we should not lose oversight of it. We need to budget for it as well. So recruiting partners and consultants and associates for managing contracts. And financial oversight, managing the budget and the project. This one is for accounting purposes, and we have to make sure our books are in good order, right up to taxation and things like those. So we should budget for this activity, even in the planning. And then there's quality assurance systems, which we need to put up, ensuring the delivery of high quality outputs. Okay, so that's actually activities associated, you could say, with the project management and coordination aspect of work stream 1. But there's another aspect over here of knowledge synthesis, analysis, and ethical review. So let's look at this one. We're saying the activities would involve, I'll just widen this slightly, research design and methodology development. I've written it here twice. But on one side, it is developing methods and research design. That's under research design and methodology. And then conducting systematic review and synthesizing knowledge. So this is when we do the systematic review. I think the second part here should be on the second line. So research design is that, and methodology development is this. Okay. So the systematic review is a way of actually developing our methodology in a way that's evidence driven, based on what we find in the literature and things like that. But we document all this. Then we come to data collection and analysis. Here, I have to hide this. Oh. Okay, so data collection and analysis, developing a comprehensive data collection and analysis plan. Then we have the ethical review. Here we have to decide on it, but we need to identify an institution where we can have our ethical review done. Just some committee where and it costs money, so we have to budget that as well. These are activities that will cost money, really. And then we have this one of research training. Research training, we can't ignore it, because if we're going to recruit people, we would have to train them on what we need them to do, and we can't assume that they'll do it the way we want without training. So that's an example, but you can read through the whole thing. I mean, unless you want us to go through everything here, I can open up the floor to discussion. These are different things. These things, I think Katuna was calling this inception reporting. So this is inception report. This one. Yeah, so that's where we prepare that.
Let's be careful, Martin.
Yes.
To me, I think inception report was something you do very early, because inception is just something you do when you're beginning.
Okay, so we should push it to work stream 1.
For me, what I'm saying is that if you're doing work stream 1, whatever a project called, and also inception, because that's where you know, when you talk of all this, your approach, your methods, your code, because at inception is where you present the approach you want to do. You get some feedback, and then you refine. Maybe you come up with all these research design instruments and so on.
Okay, so
I don't think methodology and all those things are doing. I'm not sure.
Methodology development. This is all the now detailed planning. This work stream 1 is all planning. But we're saying we have to go into detail. We have already got a proposal, but we need to go into detail on exactly what is the methodology, so that we know the instruments we're using, for example, such things. But it's okay if the this inception reporting was looking at this situational analysis and trying to document it. Unless we call that situation analysis report. Here, we can always.
Which one?
The second one. You see,
because
this one?
Analysis for me, okay, the way I had seen was that inception is usually something just you start do some small background work.
Yes.
Say this is how we're planning to do the work. We say this is our work plan and so on. It's just to come with an understanding with the client. Actually, they entail a lot. It's almost it's not even a work stream, because inception reporting is part of. So it's just to say this is what we want to do. This is how we want to do. This is how we plan to do it. It's just because you have already, even when you are reporting in the proposal, you'd have said this is our work plan. This is what we want.
Yeah.
So inception is just basically creating that and getting concurrence with the client.
All right.
So when you put inception report here, then you talk of financing situation analysis report. Because for me, situation analysis,
yeah.
because if you look at stream 2, you're already calling situation analysis, stakeholder mapping, and reporting. But at the same time, here you are taking finalizing situation analysis. So how would you be finalizing situation analysis report?
Yeah.
Yet work stream 2 is where it is about.
Yeah.
I didn't say you did it because I thought 2 is basically situation analysis.
You want, yeah, it
Whatever
is
you, the way it was written.
I see. So what you're saying is we plan for the situation analysis here. So situation analysis planning, I'll just put it in full. And then we execute the situation analysis in stream 2. I think this is what I'm understanding.
Situation analysis planning, I'm not sure what you mean, because this is just planning and projects and coordination. Because planning, we are not planning for situation, because situation analysis is just one of the phases. The understanding that you do a situation analysis to understand the system as it is, then you do a foresight to understand what it could be, and then you provide solution. How do we move from where we are to where things could be? Because we are talking about the future.
Yeah.
How to build a resilient education and how to prepare teachers for that.
Okay. So the way I'm getting it is that this one should be. I've written it then as we'll write an inception report, which will capture what we're saying is a situation analysis. We'll capture our plan here. The name is maybe what we can agree, but it's an activity which we're trying to capture and list activities. So we're saying at what point.
Now, I want to ask something.
Yes.
I want to ask something, Martin.
Yes.
Because of course, what is coming out, of course, we don't need the inception report in any work stream, because after all, that's actually outside the work packages and all that. It's something that we sit and agree without even making it a work package. But I was wondering,
yeah,
and I think this is where now one direction is very important, because this work stream or work package or whatever it is should come from the main coordinator, and already he understands from the CVs the strengths of the team, the teams, the partners and all that. But when he is assigning the work streams or the work packages, maybe they can follow the research objectives, and the packages will come in there, and in a way we shall be getting very clear activities from the objectives themselves. I don't know, Prof. What's your thought about that? Because if this thing is work the way, Martin, you are putting it, we shall take another whole year before we agree on anything.
Let me explain it this way for Prof to understand my thinking. You see, Prof, if let's say you're doing an engineering project and we're putting up a structure, for example, you see, you will not start that project without this plan. This is what the inception report is doing. And by the way, this is a lot of work. It's not, I mean, Prof knows it's a lot of work to put together that plan. And therefore, anything that involves a lot of time, it's this as well, because it involves some capacity to build these workflows in ways that they work. And it's not a simple exercise, what I'm trying to say. That means it requires expertise, it requires time, and to block that realistically for a project of this size, it has to be costed, I think. It has to be done by someone who has background of doing it. Otherwise, it's not going to materialize into a usable document. In fact, that's a live document. A document is something you are adjusting on a day-by-day or week-by-week basis. And it's updating itself. I mean, when you make these adjustments. You see what I'm saying? So it's not a traditional report. It's not a essay. Let me say it that way. It is an active document that translates into a project management. That's what I'm talking about. In fact, this document, even what I'm showing here, is a bit of that, because it generates a Gantt chart out of this. So if we're going to do that, it's an application. And how are we going to do it? For a project of this size, with the kind of our team is large as it is, and then we're going to subcontract, and then we're going to subcontract. We have to track everything. So my feeling is we have to think of it that way if we're going to succeed in actually managing this thing and making sure we're efficient in reporting. And also reporting should be a function of every one of these work streams. I mean, we just give them the names, but at the end of every stage, there's a milestone event, which we'll track here on the Gantt chart. I've not generated it. I've not drawn red lines here, but we capture them there so that we orient ourselves towards these Gantt charts, towards these milestones. So there'll be quite a number of milestones based on this set of activities we're talking about here. And all of them attract money because they all involve time and resources. You see, so it's very important. When we have this, now we can assign resources, we can assign roles, we can also quantify time. How much time do each of these take? You see what I'm saying? So I'm not trivializing. I'm just trying to say that based on experience, this is how you manage the project. Otherwise, we just end up with confusion. That's what I think anyway. But I think Prof will understand because, this is how we work on projects in engineering. Yeah, I see Bril has put up her hand. Yes.
Hi, Prof. Just a question. I thought the inception report, as you've explained it, should then include the research design and methodology. Because it's basically, okay, from my understanding, it's supposed to outline what we're going to do, yeah? So if it comes before we have it comes minus the methodology and the research design, then
Yes. So I'll put, so research design will contain methodology and the way in which we are going to go about data collection, analysis. Yes. So fair enough. I think that's okay. I've added it there. It's like Prof is saying, it's the initial document that we are using, but it has a production component which will manage the project. It's not just the research component, but it has to have an element of how the research will be executed. That's my understanding again,
But let me just be clear, because when the understanding of research reporting in this kind of work, basically, research reporting is basically the same proposal that you wrote. You come and say, because even this proposal, you write, this is what we want to do, this is how we want to do it, this is what we'll use. Inception reporting is just mostly the same thing that you just reiterate, this is what we plan to do, this is how we plan to do it, these are resources. So you're not even giving any report. You're not even giving any output in inception report. It's just to come to an agreement with the client. On the approach, on the objectives. On the objective, what you want to achieve, the outputs and so on, and the work plan and the budget. Basically, it's more. So when you say it's finalizing situational analysis report, situational analysis report for me is a major output of a work stream. It cannot be something that you give in inception. It just takes like most of the time. Inception reporting takes like one or even 2 weeks. Well, depending on the size of the scale of the project.
Yeah,
it could be 1 month, but usually it doesn't take even that because it's just the same proposal. You come and you put together and you say this is. Just to agree, to come a common understanding, because whatever proposal you had, the client may have had other ideas of how we can do it. So you let them have an input into it. So it's like you're working together on the same.
Okay, I understand it. Yeah. Okay. Now the name inception report. Even maybe I'm calling it the wrong thing. Maybe I am, but I'm understanding what you're saying, Mzee. What I'm asking, first, I think let's just agree. Should reporting be a function of every work stream? And now, like at the end of every work stream, should we compile something, a document? That could be one question. Because if we are, then
Martin,
yes.
Martin, the question is, Martin.
Yes, I'm listening.
What is the heading of work stream 1?
It's project coordination and management.
Project coordination and
management. It has 2 names. Project coordination and management is part A, and knowledge synthesis and analysis and ethical review, part B. It just has those 2 sections to it. But that's work stream 1.
Okay. So the question that we are getting here is
Yeah.
To whom shall we be pointing the inception report to? Because you see, to me, I think we are the owners of this thing, and we are the people to execute. So, who are these people to involve in this?
It's a very good question. Let's see the funder as the client. They have an interest in what we are doing. And at any time, they could ask us, how are you doing? We should be able to answer that with documents, not verbally, but with documents. So this is how I do it. I would say, look, we should ourselves be proactive and tell them, this is how we'll be reporting back to you. And we do it through a series of reports. So that, and since we already have structure here, we already have work in 1, part A, part B, work in 2, part. So we simply set up the thing in a way that we can be reporting back to ourselves, by the way, and also to our client. Now we are many, we're not one.
Very good.
You see,
Okay.
yeah,
I get it.
Okay.
Whose role will it be to do the project coordination and management?
That's very good. You see, now the second question. First of all, let's list the activities, then we assign the roles. But it's a very good question, Mzee. But one thing I just want to say, let's just go back to the annex here. You see on the annex, they're saying these tasks are distributed across the different partners. The partners are, ourselves, there's the lead organization, partner 2, 3, 4, and so as we are 5 in total, yes? The lead and then 4 partners. So let's say you're asking about task 1. Task 1 is this one. It's this one of project coordination and management. It has 6 subtasks. Okay, so these subtasks are the ones that are distributed across the partners. So if we know, just as a simple example, that partner 2 is in Kenya, partner 3 is in Ethiopia, we do the same things in terms of the stage of work, you see, but one is located in Kenya, one is located in Ethiopia. Now, to answer your question, who is going to be doing the project coordination management? We ask that of the Kenyan team, that's partner 2. We ask the same question of the Ethiopian team, that is partner 3. In other words, it's almost an instruction that they need to come with a project coordinator and a project manager. Or they can be one and the same person or entity, but they have to have a strategy for it. And these are the perceived activities that we see they would have, and there could be more. It's not limited to that. But that's how to look at the document, you see, so that we have structure and we have organization. I mean, we're going into, we're operationalizing the research in that way, you see. I'm giving that as an example, but there's also partner 4 and 5 who can tell us how they will coordinate themselves within the structure that we're giving them.
But who will be in charge of the overall coordination of the project?
You're saying now to manage across the teams. Again, that one we can agree. We can agree. The assignment of roles, just to simplify the process, let's identify all the activities and we agree on them, then we assign the roles. It becomes simpler. Who will be responsible for what? Because if we do them simultaneous, more complex. But if we say, let's first of all identify the activities, we agree. Then we move on and say, now let's assign the roles. We also agree on that. Then finally, we look at resources, because all this will attract some kind of resources, which we have to, for example, a classic resources will need to subscribe to, let's say, these subscriptions for services. So that's a resource. But we need to have the activities locked down, the roles locked down, and then the resources can be assigned. That's a simple way of just breaking it.
Maybe what we can do, Martin,
yeah.
We can go back to the call.
Yeah.
Because I thought that was there was a pointer to that there are also the various, even though there is the issue of equity, but there was something about the pointer to as into who is going to coordinate, who is going to do.
I didn't get the sense that the call was micromanaging us, by the way. I got the sense that the call is leaving us to make these decisions, but I'll open it now. I have the call here. It's opening. Okay, so this is the call.
Just go to the partners,
Partners.
Or to the applicants.
The applicants. There's lead applicant here.
Open the read. The read of applicant.
Okay, this is lead applicant. Can you read from there, or I make it larger?
Yeah, okay. Just make it Raja.
Okay.
And I want us to go where they are talking about.
Yeah.
I think there's a point I saw whereby the okay, maybe you can read from the potential down here.
Potential.
Just down.
Okay.
Just down.
Down. Oh, this one. Okay. So.
Oh, no, just scroll down. You don't. Yeah, from here now. They're saying from here. The potential applicant cannot. Okay. Let's wait.
Yes, cannot.
If the grant is awarded to it, the lead applicant becomes the government grant recipient, right? The government grant recipient is the main point of contact for the contracting authority.
Yeah.
Are you getting this?
Yeah.
So what is the meaning of this?
Yeah, so it seems to be.
It shall design and coordinate the project implementation.
Yes. But when they say the lead applicant, that's the lead applicant who is responsible. That's now Maastricht University, so Gatuna is responsible for that.
That's why I was saying, in a way, it appears then the lead applicant has the authority to coordinate and manage on behalf of all the other applicants. What the other applicants will be doing is like to feed the lead applicant.
Yeah, that's true. But you see now, I'm talking from experience. The way to do this thing is, and I'm advising, I'm providing advice now, that to help Gatune succeed, if money is distributed to each one of us, then we should report back to him in a structured way. And that structured way, in today's world anyway, should be automated so that he doesn't have a workload falling on him trying to follow us like a policeman. It should not be like that. That's an old way of working. We should be responsible for whatever we've agreed, and then we report back. And that reporting mechanism should be structured from the start. And I'm speaking from experience. I'm not speaking any other way. I can be more exact in how I can explain it, but I'm just trying to say, and it's advice I'm giving to, let's set it up in a way where you are responsible, but you're now, you can say, disseminating that responsibility to us. We ourselves have to also be responsible in the way in which we manage the activities, the money, the flow, and report regularly in a transparent and straightforward way. That makes his job very straightforward, very easy. But if we say that he's going to be a policeman, it will not work. I mean, we've seen those things, they just fail. But we don't want that. We want to be, in technology, we want to be up to date. But at the same time, in our methodology, we want to be transparent. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay. That's okay, Martin. Let's go to the co-applicants and also see what the call says. Down there.
Oh, I scroll down. Okay.
Just go down to where they are talking about. About how they are going to govern.
Yeah.
Maybe down. Just scroll down.
Okay.
Just to have the information, so that at least we can.
Yeah, we can know.
Because they also had a role. I think where was it?
The lead applicant may not be the same as the co-applicant. Okay. It says the call consists of two teams now. But where would you see the role?
Up. I think it's up. Let's read the roles of the co-applicant. Up. I think it's up.
Okay. Okay. That one.
Up. So, okay, let me just read. The co-applicant shall participate in the implementation of the project, and the costs that they incur shall be eligible in the same way as those incurred by the applicant. The co-applicant must satisfy the eligibility criteria which apply to the lead applicant itself, except the issue of having a managed grant amounting to that. The co-applicant must sign the mandate statement. If the grants are awarded to them, any co-applicant will become the government grant recipient in the project with the lead applicant, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, okay, now maybe you can interpret from that. And I think here now, I think the others can come in, like Of course, I know Apio, they are experienced in this, and maybe help us to interpret what these statements are saying. Apio from Aubrey.
No, it just basically means that you don't, as a co-applicant, you're full partners, yeah. But you don't need to provide this proof that you've managed more than we're applying for. It's 700,000, yeah. So you don't need to provide proof. Yep.
800,000.
Okay.
800. So we don't need to provide proof that we've managed at least a project of 400,000. Okay. So for the co-applicants, it's lenient in that you only need to provide this mandate, and then this sentence that says it's basically the grant is coming from the Finnish government, so you become a grant recipient for the Finnish government. Yeah.
Okay. In terms of coordinating the project, what is the interpretation there? So
I think this is usually an project, and I think it's clear from here. The lead applicant is the manager of the project because that is the person that the grantor gives. And the role of co-applicants, this call cannot say, because how you structure your project, how you want to do the project determines the roles of each applicant, because the work packages determine, okay, this is how we intend to execute this. So who can execute what? So it's for us as a team to say, for this, whether you can do it at a work stream level or at a tasks level, whichever one is whichever is it. Just say, for this work stream, these are the people who are going to execute. For example, they are going to do situation analysis. Who does that? Which team does that? If you're doing Kenya position, you are doing that, you are doing that, and that. If you're doing this other thing of foresight, what? We are doing this other work stream of project management. But project management is easy because that one is really the lead applicant, because they are the ones who are in charge. They are the ones who are supposed to report to.
Yeah.
I think that the other thing is the other work packages. And also, I think we need to make it a bit simpler, because there is what you do now for the purpose of applying for the grant. Then you can also set up structures to help you manage the grant once it's given. So I think we have to strike a balance so that we don't make it like we are putting up a structure to manage now, yet we don't have the grant. The grant just requires you to say, these are the work streams, these are the activities, this is the person who will do this activity, it will take this long, and show that, so that you can show this without I think we don't have to go to minutiae. Yeah, I'm feeling like now we are going
you
have a project and you're already now putting together how to manage it.
Yeah, I think basically what it helps with this, okay, you as Professor Gatune says, just make it generic. Ideally, you can apply the same principles that we do with the projects, whereby we have the lead work packages or a work stream, as you maybe named them, and then you have like a co-lead, and then we have the rest of the people participating. So the assumption is, of course, there's not only one institution that will be running a specific task, but even if there's one specialized, but the rest, the idea is this is also supposed to help with capacity building. So the idea is the rest also participate. So then this then helps even when Agustina is doing the budgeting, because you budget based on the task. So if your institution, for instance, Open University is leading a work package or a work stream, then their budgeting might be slightly higher than the co-lead, then might be slightly higher than the rest. So it just helps, and the best thing is always just to make it generic, so that it helps later on when now you're implementing, you have a little bit maneuver around here.
Yeah, but can I just can I comment on what's being said also? That what I know from the ground, what is, let's say, if you oversimplify, for example, I'm not saying we should not simplify. Simplification is difficult. I think we all know this. To simplify something is not easy. It's a lot of work that goes into simplifying anything. And if we're going to have success, the main exercise is constructive alignment. That's the main exercise. In other words, when we're writing work stream 1 and its activities, they're constructively aligned to the objectives, the outcomes, and the problem statement that we already have. That way we have a defensible document. So what I'm really saying is the main goal is actually to have a defensible document. Something which if we're asked an offside question or a very intentional question, why do you have this activity here? We can say, in essence, it's constructively aligned to this objective number 2. Why do you have this one? Well, it's constructively aligned to objective number 3. That's the exercise. And you see, when you do it, it's simple to explain. It's very easy. You can even explain it in your sleep. But to get to it is hard work. What I'm trying to say. So I hope not. I don't want us to mistake simplicity as meaning it's easy. It should be simple, but that's hard work to get to it, and that's what we have to put in now in order for us to succeed in the next 3 days. That's maybe what I'm trying to bring out in this whole thing. I hope I'm making sense. Maybe I might be talking much, but you just feel free to don't mind.
No, I think
all right.
What we shall do. What we shall do is just let's just. Although I can see Prof. Opata raising up the hand, maybe she can go first. Prof. Opata.
Thank you, Chair and colleagues. Okay, this is the first time I'm encountering with the activity plan that we have. And according to my feeling, I don't know what the template is, but it should be having the key results and then the activity under each key results, which are aligned to the objectives. And for us to be able to define those activities as we spell out the activities, then we should be able to align or to attach to a responsibility and in place there, the person who is going to play that particular role. Because each activity will consummate with the person who is carrying out that responsibility. And it is upon that you can be able to come up with the time frame and the remuneration that you are assigning that particular responsibility and the person who is carrying out the responsibility. Secondly, I'm seeing a very, very detailed work plan at the moment. And since this is the proposal, why can't we be lean so that in case the proposal goes through, then we'll have a whole period of project formulation. And when you are doing the project formulation, we'll have to get into the deeper planning of the work plan, changing out the activities that are required, so that at this moment we just do a generic one to be able to justify the amount of money that we are bidding for. And that money should correspond with the respective key result area that correspond with the activities that are assigned to somebody to be able to justify for what we are going to put there as the amount of money. My thinking, I feel this is too much detailed at this level. Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, Martin, I want you to remove this and I display something simpler, so that you see whether it can help us get a direction. Because what I think is we should go with the with the direction of Apio, who says that what we need is a bit of a generic, something to guide, but something that is not so complicated. Because we make it complicated, maybe it will not help.
Let
me just share something.
Maybe Dr. Karanja, before you share, because I had also shared. Okay, I'm sure it's derived from what I had shared with Martin, a work plan that was a bit simple. These are more detailed of that. Maybe I shared what I had shared first, so that where we derived from. You can share what I shared. Maybe share what I had shared before.
Just share what.
That was a much simpler.
Yeah. We did a simpler.
It just listed the work stream, a few activities and so on. And it did. I realized what you have done, and you have done a lot of work. I'm not complaining, but for now, this was just a much simpler. You can see it's about, you have a project management work stream, and obviously this one goes all through. And then we had put how many? Managing budget, managing meetings, recruiting partners, quality assurance, and you can also order the other things that you have put there. I think you have put something. And actually, inception should be there. So the other work stream too, which is situation analysis, preparation and kickoff and inception. Actually, those ones can go to the project management, and you can see it's just 1 month. Then that's where you now start doing the work package one. You are doing review, you're doing analytical, you're doing what, and you create some kind of a report, I guess. And then you also do basically, and you can put all the other stakeholder analysis you have put there. There are also some activities you have added. But this one just shows you in a very high level what the main activities are without the breakdown that, because I think, yes, the breakdown for you is important, but you have to agree, because in the end, what we want is to fill that template that you have shown there, which has activities and budgets. And for me, I think if we can bring them to a simpler, other people can comment on this and we see how we can reconcile. Because here's just a task and then you want who does what at a much simpler level.
Yes. If people find this one to be easier, I'm also okay with it. And you're right, I developed the other one from here because these are the steps we go through. But we can start here, all right? If people feel that's the consensus, the idea at this point
remains. Dr. Karanja also wanted to share something. I'm not sure what, maybe he can also share what.
No. What I was looking up to is something simpler. So I think because if it's getting simple like this, I think it will be so easy for people to see how things are going. Just as Professor Pata said, maybe a lot of detail will lead to the confusion that we are there. But I think from this, I think we can see that there was some clarity from Professor Gatuna. So what you need to do is actually to now merge up what has come up. So to me, what I think, Maastricht can be able to work on this, and all of us can be agreeable at a point. Is that not the point here? Because if Maastricht is able to come up with something that can flow, all of us will we just package and get into it.
Yeah, that's one way.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to just comment, you see, Katuna has come up with this one. So what he's saying is he's putting it out, and for us to own the project, all of us, we now co-author. So I think what I'm understanding, Prof. Gatuna, is that we come in, and if, for example, like I observed, there's an ethical review that's missing here, for example. I can come in and add a column, a row, and type in here the ethical review. If I feel that's an activity that is worth putting, something that will attract time on this Gantt chart. You see, because that will mean it has a cost. You see what I'm saying? So, and there's several of them, and we all would have different perspectives. We can all co-author this document on a Google Sheet, is what I'm saying.
Martin, I think that one would make it even more complicated. You know, what we need is a generic. And you see, all of us cannot author a generic, right?
No, we can't. Co-authoring is the way things are going, by the way. You know, the old way of doing things is where you give one person the job. But nowadays, the way jobs are done is through co-authorship. That way you get co-ownership.
That is okay, Martin, if time is on our hands. But we are running out of time.
Time is the issue.
If we assign somebody, it will be faster than if all of us are working on the same document. Again, after that, again, we give it back to somebody to clean it and then refine it before we move on, you see. But if somebody has just taken it up and dedicated most of the time to clear it, can be able to do it in the shortest time possible. So, Martin, for now, I think this is just generic. Why can't we go by what Karanja is suggesting? We give to one person to work on it. More the PA.
I understand.
The PA
yes, I understand. I talk to the PA on a daily basis. So we are also, he's given me this document and then he asked me to also go add something. But what I'm saying is that I'm not disagreeing with you. He's already done it, by the way. So in some ways, we can even just use it the way it is. Actually, we can. But what he is saying, and the way, and maybe Gatune can correct me. is saying that why don't we own this project so that people come in and suggest. The best way is co-authoring. Co-authoring doesn't mean you give it to someone, then they work on it, then they give it back to you. That's the old way. The new way is you put it on a Google Sheet, for example. That's a co-authored document. Then you go onto it, and then everybody just weighs in on it. We close it after one day. It doesn't have to be on forever, just one day, closes. And then we go and see how people have populated it. That way, that has provided us with a framework, and the rest of us have come in to add our component. That way, it's co-authored by all of us, you see, and the perspectives it'll be a richer document.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine, Martin.
Yeah.
Fine, Martin, but we just chip in. I think since we are here and as you said, there is time constraint.
Yeah.
And you have broken down some you have other things, which is fine, and so on and so. I think for this meeting, so that we come up with some, it would be good just let's agree on the high level activities and agree who can involve. At least look at that budget, that other, because it's related to the other template you showed, which shows the budget, to say for these activities, who can do what, which partner can do what, so that we have an idea, because the objective is to feel this is what is wanted. This is what you need to feel this, and we have to agree on the tasks. So we can agree on the work. These are the high level tasks. Who can work on these tasks? Who can work, so that we are able to feel that budgeting, at least that template. So that would be the most we can achieve from here, I believe. But anyway, other people can also chip in.
Yeah, anyway, I agree with that also. Can I then propose, okay, the first step I'm getting is that we agree on these activities. Second step, we assign roles so that we know who is doing what. There was something Prof. Opata mentioned, which I also agree with, that we need to make sure that these activities are capturing the objectives. You see, they are constructively aligned to those objectives. I don't know if that will be done here or we do it away from here. Anyway, it's just a statement. So one is to agree on the activities. Two is to agree on the roles. And number three, we should agree on resources, because there could be resources. And we just need to have oversight on resources that will attract money. So maybe we should also discuss that. They're not mentioned here, but I don't know if we should mention them. So those are the three things.
So resources we shall use percentages, Martin. So let's move. Let's move with the first work package. Who is responsible for that, and who else is coming in that?
Yeah. Okay. In terms of the structure of the annex, in terms of the structure of the annex, you see the lead. He has his percentage. The task one, we're going to fill it in here. You see, it is indicated. Let's call it work stream one, top level. Task one is work stream one, which is called project management. That will be filled in here. And then there's a component of project management that belongs to the lead organization, a component that belongs to the partner organization, partner 2, partner 3, partner 4. You see what I'm saying? So each one of us as co-applicants has a role in project management, but the responsibility overall is with the lead. This is my understanding. So even as we construct now these activities, just know we're distributing them across.
Let me maybe suggest, Martin. I do not think that any activity everybody has to chip in. There are some activities you can just give one person. You don't have like every activity has to be shared. For example, I am sure something like project management is much easier. I know you, because project management is just about oversight. So make sure people are following the activities. So much as I'm a partner and I'm in the project, the fact that I am also following the plan and I'm being asked, I don't mean I'm doing the project activity management can only be done by one person, because there has to be somebody who is making sure people are. I am not sure whether you can try to assign, but anyway, that's what I want us to discuss. All these are tasks. There are some tasks that only one person is required to do. There are some tasks that people, for example, if you are doing situation analysis, you are doing review of it, you are doing what? Every partner can be involved in that. So I think there are some things we can agree. If you are managing the budget, that can only be managed by the overall. Because the part of the project management work streams where you report to the donor. And I'm not sure the donor would find it very odd if bits and pieces are done by other people But anyway, let's hear from other. But I think we have to agree some activities are just one activity, some other activities.
Yeah, my fear, Prof, is the oversimplification. What I know is to succeed in project management, you have to delegate, which means that there will be some things or tasks that you'll be delegating, and they'll be delegated because of proximity. Sometimes geographic location can influence delegation. Like if one person is in Ethiopia and one is in Kenya, you might be in Netherlands. You see, now you have to delegate them, but that becomes a project management function that you're responsible for, but you have delegated to one of your partners. And that will attract, it's a budgetary item because they may incur costs in doing it, time cost for sure. So we should have oversight of that. We should anticipate it and then spread. You see the way it is even written here, 2,000 for the lead organization, 2,000, these are Swiss francs. For the partner organization, they're already guiding us that spread this allocation across the partners so that people can contribute their component to what it is. Personally, I don't think we can successfully run this without delegation of that task, and still the responsibility is with the lead organization. I'm not oversimplifying, actually. I think by breaking it down, I am simplifying. That's what I'm saying. Okay, again, I'm opening it up. I'm just commenting on what Prof has said so that
we need to move. We need to move, Martin. We need to move. Of course, what you're saying is now getting into nitty-gritties. Let's just move.
Yeah, okay. So the next step, see, the first step is, let's look at these items here. Let's look at work stream 1, project management. It has managing budget, hold team meetings, recruit partners, and quality assurance. If we feel it's exhaustive, we can do an assignment of roles here. We can.
So that is work stream 1, eh?
That's work stream 1.
Okay. The lead applicant to me takes up that and maybe is assisted by the coordinator of that will be around here.
Yeah, and then how are you going to distribute it to this document?
So how many days would that take or what time would it take that one?
No,
we are dealing with 18 months, right?
Exactly. It's this one. You can even see has highlighted it throughout the entire 18 months. It's not one. Yeah, it's something that happens continuously. It has a tracking and monitoring component. You have to track its progress.
So you I think then you just give the proportionate budget there.
Yeah, we can do that. But you see now you've jumped even to another stage. We were asking who are we apportioning it to? My suggestion, if you ask me that question, I'd say we apportion it to all of us. And then if you want to now give a proportional budget, you see the budget, if you want to do things proportionately, we're in Excel, so we can even do a formula right now to do a proportionate budget. We're saying 800,000 shillings, 800,000. Let me just put a comma here so we have it. Yeah. Okay, so 800,000 is 8 million, so 800,000 Swiss francs. And if we're doing it proportionally, we have 4 streams if it's equal in terms of weighting. Again, we're oversimplifying, but I'm just saying for the argument of simplification, I'll put in 400,000 for this one. That's 200,000, sorry. 200,000 for this one, and 200,000 for that one, and you can say 200,000. I've assumed equality, but these are not equal stages. Maybe the first one will even have lighter weight. We can discuss. I can put a weighting element here, column for weighting. This is maybe.
So then we have the lead applicant and then the what? The project management. We have the lead applicant plus the universities, right?
Yeah, those are the co-applicants. Yeah.
Those are the co-applicants.
Yeah. So the way I see it is that you see, Batman is right. He's put there that project management is going to take up the entire every month of this entire project will involve managing the budget. What I'm just saying is that every one of us will have a function of managing the budget. The co-applicants, each one of them will have a function of managing the budget. The person overall responsible, in other words, we're answerable to is the lead applicant. We're answerable to the lead applicant. but we have a function for it. That means that whatever we budget there has to be distributed to all of us. That's just all I'm saying. And to me, it's obvious. There's no way he can't, otherwise you'll be micromanaging and he won't want to do that. I don't think so. I don't think that's what he's saying.
Okay. Okay, give the formula, Martin.
Yeah, so if I do equal distribution again, here we have 4 items. So again, I'm going to divide this one by 4. So remember, it's oversimplifying, but we can do weighting after this.
Okay, it's okay. We shall have the generic.
Yeah, generic. Okay, this one we have 9, 18. These are 9 objects, so I'll divide by 9. Okay. So I'll put those ones here. Sorry. And then this one is having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll divide this by 5. And then this one, it has 3. So divide here by 3. Okay, so there we have. Now, these ones.
But would it not have been easier to just.
Yeah.
Because.
Suggest me.
Martin, I'm not too sure why. Because to me, I think it would just be easier to say these are the activities, how many days are there?
Yeah.
First of all, we say for each activity how many days it will. Then we'll assign the days to each partner. 1, 2, you can put a column there for lead partner 1, partner 2, what. You say these are the days we have allocated for this activity and we share the days. Then you will now do the budget. Then you add the days. Then you'll just now take the budget and say these are the total number of days, man or woman days, and therefore the budget for this partner comes to this much. Because for now, obviously, you're just dividing. I know you're just making a simply.
Yeah.
You're just to show us a generic way of doing it.
That's
but for me, would it not be easier to just rather than just divide by it, just say, let's agree how many days is this activity? How many days?
Okay, I've got a column.
Then you will now.
Okay, I've got a column here. I'm even using your guide. You've already said this is 18 days because the entire project is 18 days.
Like now, no, do this,
Yeah.
Just put a column before T. Put a column before so that you do the days before you put where you have put the money. You put a column first before that.
Okay, before.
Before the T.
Before the T. You mean here? I put a column here.
Yes.
Yeah, I have. Okay. You want me to put...
now for that column, why not say, okay, work stream project management? How many days are going to be allocated to that? And obviously, you can do it by adding up the days for each of them, whether it's managing budget, holding team meetings, so on and so on and so on. Each what is in total? Then you have the total number of days.
Okay, I've started
for that activity.
Okay, that's okay. I've now done it. You see, I called it D, and here I'll call this one Swiss francs. I don't know what is it. CHF.
Huh?
Yeah. So here we can now say how many days for work stream. This one is. Oh, these days are not 18 days. These are months. Let's use months, not
months.
Days.
It's okay. It's okay. Months.
Months, yeah.
They're months.
This one's 8 months. So
8 months, yeah.
This is 1 month. 1 month.
Not 18 because you see the fact that the work continues. That means that you are allocating 18 to each of them. Because I think you are not. The way this thing is, just because it is highlighted all the way through, doesn't mean that it is 18 months. It doesn't mean, because project management is something you're continuing. Maybe you devote 1 day a week or 1 day a month, 1 day a week for that work. Because you can't, you are charging for
that's when I'm agreeing with you. But what I'm saying is,
I'm getting.
Yeah, I'm getting you.
Work days.
Yes. But let's, you see, first to speak to let me explain. To speak the truth on this thing, you have to just report it the way the activity.
Will come back. Fine.
You just ask the reception to
call them. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
No problem. Yeah, to speak the truth on this thing is easier because of a defensible document to say the number of days as the number of days are. So there, project management is going to be 18 months actually, but it's the weighting that's going to reduce this figure and therefore reduce this total that's assigned to it. But let's treat the weighting on its own here. This one's the weighting. This total should just equal to 100%. But we'll do that next. First, let's just track the durations in an honest way. So we just know that this function, it actually takes the full duration. Some of them are short, like these ones. Like here, inception reporting can just be 1 month. Even half month can be a unit I can enter here. We have here review of resilience initiatives. Okay, you have it as 1 month. You have this one as 1 month. This one for data collection, 2 months. 2 months data collection to me sounds short, I think. I don't know if you want to increase, but it's 2 months.
It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. This is a short time project.
Okay, then here two validation workshops. Okay, then we have finalized situation reports, 2 months. Okay, then we have here work stream. We're saying strategic foresight, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This total is coming to 9 months. Scoping is 1 month. Okay, 1 month. This one, horizontal scanning, trends and drivers. This one is 3 months. Synthesis and preparation for foresight workshops. 1 month. It seems short, but some of these we can increase even here just by adding a color. If we feel it's short, we can increase. Then synthesis of implications of merging and implications of merging. 3 months seems long, but it's okay. I'm just saying. Then merging, sorry, that one is 3 months here. This one's 2 months. Conducting the foresight workshop is 3 months. I see. Then this one of merging, 2 months. Yeah, it's okay. That one's okay. Then we have the work stream 4, knowledge management and dissemination learning. This is very long. It's running for 17 months. Okay. Okay. I'm not so clear what knowledge management is, but dissemination and learning will happen at the end. It will happen like 3 months here towards the end, I think. Knowledge management maybe is what's happening earlier. Build a knowledge management platform, I think that is. So
dissemination will come towards the end.
It will come towards the end. Yeah, this one, yeah, it will come towards even this building a knowledge platform management. Knowledge management platform. What do you mean by knowledge management platform? It's coming at the beginning. Develop and host knowledge items. Okay, it's all happening during the research. Okay, I'll keep it the way it is. To me, it seems like a repository. This is a repository for keeping things. And then we have
it's a repository which you need from the beginning.
And then here we're managing.
Okay, go ahead.
That's okay. So I can subtract 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it becomes 12 months. Yeah. And then build a community of practice. Okay. This is a website, maybe for members' website where we can put people on, maybe an app. Yeah, it comes early. It's okay. So that one is 18 minus 3, 15 months. And then this one is hold policy, lab, and peer-to-peer activities. Yeah, 1 month seems very short for that. This one is part of dissemination. Should we say 3 months? I don't know.
These are just policy. Yeah, it's part of dissemination. It can be longer, yeah.
It can be longer, okay. So I just copy and paste this. So 3 months for this one towards the end. Okay. Yeah, so that's it. This 800 should be here. This should have been divided by 4. Sorry about that. Put here. Sorry. The other way. What am I saying? It's this one. Let me just delete this. Okay.
Very what by 4.
Yeah.
Are you not going to weight it? It just said you'll weight it first because all these activities are not the same level of effort.
That's very
Some are more intensive, others are less intensive.
That's correct, yeah.
So how do would the person need to weight how much level of effort
for
each task there is? If you take 100%. Yeah.
Okay, let's do the weighting column now. You see here, we have the back icon. So this, with the work stream itself, we can weight. What weight were you thinking for the project management in relation to work stream 2, work stream 3? We can weight at that level first. Or what do you say, Prof?
I mean, imagine project. Okay, I can answer other people can say, but I would imagine between project probably 10 to 15% of the cost should just that's to me is project management.
Okay, so should I put the lower one or the higher one? 10%.
Other people, other people who have done this can also chip in. What should project management entail in terms of?
You can put 15. You can put 15 because you see, to me, this is quite a fast project. For the 18 months and that amount, it requires a lot of accuracy and all that. So we just give it 15.
Okay. Okay, so the next one is workstream 2, situation analysis. These are the activities. There's a bit of data collection, analysis, validation workshops, and report writing is part of it. But you can see, What weight would you give this one?
Maybe 30%, 30, 40, 30%.
So 35, or even 30, because there's another one coming.
Give it 30 first. Okay, let's go on.
So now we're on 45. Strategic foresight, scoping, horizontal scanning, synthesis and preparation of foresight workshops, conduct foresight workshops, and synthesis and implications for
merging. The same amount as 30% and see.
Okay, so now we're on 75. Okay, 30%. Now comes knowledge management and dissemination.
Yeah,
we're left with 25%.
Just place it there.
Okay, 25%. The total, I'll just do a sum of this. This one is coming to 100, so we're okay. So that now gives us the weight. So if we multiply this by the weight, I'll just multiply this one by that, and this one also times this weight. Yeah. This one times this weight here. This one times this weight here. Yeah, so the total remains, let me just make sure the sum is adding up. This is just a validation check, but I'm adding this one with this one, with this one, with this one. Oh, there's a...
Yeah.
I mean, I had a dependency.
You have a circular problem. You can't do that because just leave it the way it was. You can, if you want to check, you use another cell to just check because already now you have circular because you are asking to check something that it was already divided by. That's why you have that problem.
It's very true, but I have the problem right here. So let me solve it.
So leave it the way it was because the budget we are targeting is that budget. Leave it right 800 the way it was. And actually probably write 750 because we will have to do a budget of 750 just for the purpose of our
tax or administrative.
Our approval process. If you try to do 800, you 800, it will have to go to another administrative process that just makes everything hell again. It has to go to another level.
Understand. Should we capture that here, boss? You see here, if we say under management, we put here an administrative cost because there's a fee for the administration of this project that your university will charge. We can add it here, administrative activity.
Yeah.
Okay. But all that is falling under project management.
Managing. So part of it is either you call it an activity, but it's managing budgets, part of holding meeting. All these are part of the overhead, isn't it?
Yeah, it's part of Oh, we add it down here. Okay. It's just to capture, but yeah.
But put 800,000. They put 750,000. And as I told you, the best thing is first of all remove the formula. Just put 800,000, 750,000.
Yeah. What number did I have here in the beginning? I divided this by 800,000. So 800,000. We have said
no. You you're dividing 800,000. You are weighting by each of the percentages.
That's true. But
So
I
it should be.
Then I multiply this. I'm just doing it again to resolve. So I'll multiply by that. And then I had said that this one is divided by the 4 activities. So divide this by 4. Then I come and paste here. Here.
And again,
no, this is just too high. It should be this one, 50.
Well, you can't. Martin, if you're going to do that, you can't divide straight away, because then the only way you can say knowledge building and knowledge management, it takes 4 months. The other one takes 12 months. They cannot be the same. It has to be divided by 4 over 17 times 50,000 is what will give you the correct amount. 12 over 17 times, because it tells you it is correspond to the effort.
That's true.
Yeah.
So this 25%, what you're saying, Prof, is that it's too low. We need to increase this maybe to 30 or something higher. Let's say we increase it to 35% here, but we reduce maybe this one to the 25%, this one, like this. You see what I've done? So I can now safely add this one, by the way. So let me add, I've removed the cyclic dependency. Just remove this one. I'm going is I add this one, then I add this one. Even that had a cyclic, but it's because of the 800,000. Let me just type in here 800,000, just for the sake of consistency.
But you see, okay, what I'm not sure why you're doing it this way, because the way you had done it before was the easiest, because then it allows you to vary the budget. You could change 800 without having to go and change it, because what I'm trying to tell you, we have to do the budget at 750, because if we do it 800, have a problem.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I should write 800 separately. Yeah, I understand now. So here, I'll write 800,000 then. 800,000. And then you are saying 50,000 is what you are saying is being removed from it. So you end up with, you end up with this one minus.
It's not 50,000. I'm saying the budget is 750,000. It's not 800.
Yes, because 50 is being removed.
I'm not.
Oh, you're not. I thought the administrative fee.
It's not administrative fee. I am saying, because every organization has their own approval processes. If a budget reaches a certain amount, it goes to another level. It goes to other people to do other risk analysis and such. So if we try to do it at 800, it will take like 1 month for the internal processes to approve. Not it's because of just bureaucracies of organizations. But 750, we can approve it at MSM. Otherwise, it will go to the Maastricht University itself, finance office, because the complexity of the issue.
Oh, I see. So we should work with 750. Okay.
750 as a budget. That's what we should not exceed that. If we exceed that, it becomes very difficult.
Oh, I see.
It adds like a month in terms of bureaucracy.
Okay. I understand. Yeah. Okay. So this total should come to the 750. That's what you are saying. This one. Yeah. Like that. Showing us 105%. Yeah. So these percentages we need to reduce. I think we reduce this one to 25 also for weighting. So it comes to that.
The percent is what? It's more than 100.
Yeah, it was more than 100. Now it's 100. Okay, so this is a distribution.
So you have to ask yourself, management more intensive than doing the foresight. Knowledge management is 35. It's now the biggest, almost as big as because let's agree, the main work is which one? The main pieces of work is what? It's doing is work stream 2 and those are the main.
The way it looks,
the objective.
Yeah, but work stream 2 and 4 have physical outputs. You see, this work stream 2, there's a lot of data collection taking place, workshops, such things. Work stream 4 is a lot of work stream 2. Work stream 2, there's a lot of data collection taking place. Physical. You're going to the field.
Yes,
Yeah, so it will be expensive.
Yeah, that is where the budget should be higher.
Should be higher.
Because
Should be higher, what I'm saying.
yeah, look at
I
the
agree with Professor.
apportioning of the budget.
Yeah.
Where have you apportioned your budget heaviest?
Okay, so
If it goes just personnel, then it is actually questioned.
Yeah. Okay, so I've now changed so that one. So work stream 2 is a lot of data collection. Work stream 4 is a lot of development. Development, I think, is expensive, so I put it at 35. But again, we can suggest this one of strategic foresight, scoping, horizontal scanning. The main cost might be these workshops. The rest is literature, so 15%. You can see the spread now. Work stream 1 was 15%. Work stream 2, 35. Work stream 3, 15. Work stream 4, 35. So total comes to 100. We can nuance. What do you say?
You see, you see work stream 3 has workshops which you will bring people together, they will have and do a workshop, you will apply them. Yeah.
Yeah. That's true. So you're saying
they'll conduct a workshop. So you have a lot of money. Just because you can imagine you have 4 workshops and maybe each workshop has like 30 people. You're accommodating them.
Yeah.
Some of them, assuming that workshop will be Ethiopia, 1 workshop in maybe 2 workshops in Ethiopia, 2 workshops in Kenya. And you probably would want the workshops to have not just be, because you want this cross-sharing and cross-pollination, you may have to take people from Kenya to Ethiopia and vice versa. You may have to bring people from Ethiopia to Kenya. So I'm saying that budget, it's not as small as, the activities are not,
we can increase it then maybe to 25. Then this one comes to 25 also, this one. The total is now 100, yeah. What do people say?
Okay.
Yeah, it looks practical. It looks a bit.
It looks practical. Okay. Any other comment? As you're thinking, I'm just correcting this formula a bit, but don't mind me. Yeah.
So maybe we can be thinking about now the assignees for this now.
Yeah. Which means everybody is happy with the distribution of the budget. That's how I'm hearing.
Yeah. Just as Pio said, it's generic, so you're getting to generic.
Okay. So, all right. Yeah. So assignment of these ones. Now, if we look at the top level, like let's say work stream 1, we're talking of project management. So I was fronting the idea that there'll be a component of project management activity at every partner's level, which means there'll be a cost for every partner, for sure. Unless we're also going to weight partners. Are we going to weight these partners, or are we treating them equally? You see, that's the question now.
Okay. The partners that would be involved in the project management,
yeah,
of course, there is a lead applicant plus the universities.
Yeah.
Obril will not be involved here.
But she's a partner. If she's not going to be involved in this work, is she saying she will not be involved?
No. She's going to be involved as what do you call it? As a novel, but it's not a main activity for them. Yeah.
You're saying that I don't know. Okay, you're saying they will not be involved in the project management.
Not as heavily as the others. You will be involved because they have to be involved everywhere, but not heavily. So maybe you can.
So there's the idea,
because we must find a place where they will be heavily involved.
Okay, that means we are waiting partners. If we're not equally attributing to partners, then I'll have to put weights for the partners also, so that we can say, everyone has their weight for each activity. Like now for the first activity, let's call it work stream 1. This is work stream 1. I'll just make this narrow. I can put here P1. P1 is the main applicant, then P2, P3, and P4. Okay, so under work stream, this is the work stream. Let's call it WS. Okay, so under work stream 1, we have these weights. If you're saying P1, let's say, is the main applicant, this P5. So P1 is Gatuna. Let's say P2 is Ethiopia. So I'll just put here ET. Here is, let's say, Kenya, TUK, then OUK. And then you called it Oril.
Obril. OB, yeah.
Okay. And this one is Mastic. Okay.
MSM.
Okay. All right. So for activity 1, MSM has the greater responsibility. So out of 100, these are all out of 100. So what percentage, Gatuna, would you say, would you give to the weight of this project management for MSM? Should we say like 60% because of responsibility? Is that fair?
You can work with that.
Okay. So I'll put here percent. So here it's 60. And then we're saying for Ethiopia, we're going to have
Ethiopia.
Is equal to this one.
Ethiopia took.
Yes.
Ethiopia took, and UK should have equal, right?
Yeah. So 10%, and then Obril will be having 10%. So they have equal to the others. Is that correct, or you feel it's not accurate for Obril?
No worry. If it's coming to that, it's okay.
No, we could also say MSM 65 and then Obril 5%. If that's the weighting, it's just weighting. That's all in terms of.
Yeah, because their role there would be just overall involvement.
Okay. So we look at work stream.
Yeah.
Work stream 2 now. We're doing the weighting for work stream 2. I'm just copying and pasting. But let's look. This is data collection, situation analysis. But this is where a lot of data is collected in the field in different experiments. So how do we weight this one? This work is being done on the ground by, I think it's the local players, ET, TUK, OUK.
Yeah, the main local players are the ones. It's mostly, this work is basically done by the people on the ground.
Okay.
But you have not even put. Did you put the Ethiopian partners there? You have not put Jima in this, even in P1. You just put TUK, OUK, and.
I've highlighted.
So we have Ethiopia.
You can see him.
Yeah.
Jima is there.
Is the one
ET.
in red. Yeah.
Oh, Ethiopia, ET. The one ET.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we're looking at this one. We're saying, again, it has to add up to 100, but we're saying we're looking at MSM. MSM, what do you think your percentage involvement will be on capturing that this situation analysis work stream 2? All this ground game. There's also some preparation and analysis at the end, but there are also validation workshops. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you've got, because you're doing for validation workshop and also doing maybe some other thing, maybe 10 to 15%, maybe of that. And the other people, because this is basically work being done on the ground by the partners.
Yes.
So nothing, maybe 10 to 15% only, just like that, something like that. Okay.
So let's say, for argument's sake, 15%. What about Obril? What would Obril's weight in this one? We're looking at him too. I'm not sure of Obril.
Maybe another.
Say again.
You can give them 10%. Just give them 10%.
Analysis, and they're the ones doing the knowledge management. You see, all these things are generating knowledge. So you have to be kind of involved.
Oh, so Obril will be quite involved in this one. That's what we're saying.
I'm saying involved in terms of, because Obril is putting together a knowledge management platform and so on. So in every, I'm not saying, yeah, something like that, 10% is fine.
10% is okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Then divide the rest by, then now you can decide.
Yeah.
But you see, you can't, because Ethiopia is going to be doing one kind. You are saying you'll do more. If you, the way you have put it, you are saying that more work will be done in Kenya than in Ethiopia, because it should be Ethiopia is half and Kenya is half. Yeah, what I'm saying, the ET and TUK should have the same share, because
I see what
TUK
you're saying.
are doing Kenya and
Yeah.
ET is doing Ethiopia. It should be almost the same.
I see. So this one should be, let's say, 75 divided by 2. It should be
Not 50. Yeah, okay. Just a minute.
Yeah, divide by 2, but I have to put a point here. Sorry, why is it doing that? Yeah, and then this one will be half of that, be this one, divide by 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this one the same. So it'll be like this. You can open it up, kidogo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so then the next one is now number 3.
But
Yes.
I'm just wondering,
Yes.
at that distribution against the weighting of activities,
Yeah.
and if these activities are going to be balanced in both countries,
Yeah.
then this distribution, we need maybe to link it to the activities in terms of what is it that we are going to do in stream 2, situational analysis, and that is cutting across all the 4 objectives, given that all the 4 objectives will be touched on by all these partners. So if we put this allocation, we need to put into consideration that equal weight that is going to be conducted in this institution must be the same. So when we divide TUK and OUK to have this, it means they are only going to do a half of these activities, not to carry the entire workload of these activities. I don't know whether it is coming out.
It's coming out, yeah.
Yeah. If it has to be full load, then they should have a percentage that can allow them. But if it is a half load, then they can have the half share of that is is expected. So the question is, if we apportion like this, then what are we going to say amongst this TUK will do and amongst this OUK can do, so that they don't go to do the whole lot?
Now, what you are saying, Karanja will say you're getting into the weeds. The details.
Okay, but now the facts will come, because already the budget will determine what is going to be done there. You see what?
But it's very true.
Yeah.
The budget limits us now. That's true. One way, a simple way of looking at it is that if, let's say, for example, we're looking at a population of, let's just suppose 10,000 respondents. If it's per country, it means 10,000 in Kenya and 10,000 in Ethiopia. It means OUK will be handling 5,000 and PUK will be handling 5,000. And then in Ethiopia, they handle the full 10,000. That's how it looks in a simplistic way. I'm just using population as an example of, distributing load. But there'll be other factors for sure that will determine the load. I agree with you.
That one can be solved, because in any case, you see, you can also decide that TUK is involved in a certain work package that OUK is not involved. So,
yeah,
I think you can resolve that.
So you mean a local arrangement on the ground, or in the initial plan? When you do that inception plan, we can get into that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So the next one is number 3. Is this one for work stream strategic foresight, scoping, horizontal scanning, synthesis and preparation for foresight workshops, and then conduct foresight workshops, synthesize and implications of merging. I think that's analytical, this last one. So how are we saying this one? What is the involvement of MSM in that one? You can start with them. What do you say? Strategic foresight. What's the involvement, the weight of involvement? Gatune, maybe you're speaking with your mic off. Oh, you do the Ethiopia.
I think my mic is
your
on.
mic was
I
on.
realize yeah, I realize. But this is basically what we are going to be, what we have been doing, foresight. That is probably, we can talk of 50%, then just distribute, the other people participate.
So 50% for MSM, and then these ones we distribute equally. So it will be this 50% divided by 4.
No. Maybe these are the in-country partners you can give more than Obril, because Obril might not be so much into that, because this will also involve more work, practical, because we are dealing with people doing workshop, running a workshop. Obril might not be involved with running the workshop, apart from maybe 5% for Obril. Then think of if you do then you think of what remains is like what 45 divided by 2 is 22.5.
Yeah.
So 22.5 goes to Ethiopia, and then the rest goes to Tuk and what and what, if we want to be that.
Yeah. It comes to this. Like that. What's coming to 120%?
But again, yes, Ethiopia cannot have, because Ethiopia has one institution only, so it's the same amount of thing. We are giving equal.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Equal.
Yes. So this
equal
should be,
attention. Yeah.
Oh yes.
It should be the total. Yes.
Okay. So this one should be now half of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Like that. Why is it coming to 110%? 55. Oh, I've not considered this one. Oh, I see. This should be 50. Like that. Then half of 50. It's not yet, eh? Should be 45. Sorry. Ole. Sour. Apple. That's the distribution. But that was for number 2. That was number 3, sorry. Number 4, I've not yet done. So number 4 is work stream 4, knowledge management and dissemination and learning. So building the knowledge platform, developing the host knowledge items. You know, we have to build a community of practice as well. That's number 3 here. And then there's this one of policy labs and peer-to-peer. A policy lab is what? What's a policy lab?
Yeah, a policy. It's a dialogue, policy dialogue, because you want to disseminate, you want people to come together. It's more, you can think of more policy dialogues, I think, or policy.
Oh, I see.
Or maybe, I don't know.
You bring stakeholders together or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're also trying to, he's bringing stakeholders together, discussing about policy, potential policy.
Okay. So Obril
it's a policy dialogue. Around tables, really.
True. Obril is very much in Kenya. So I'm assuming. So they'll be. Are they also in?
It's in Kenya and Ethiopia.
In both.
Obril is in Kenya and Ethiopia. Yeah, just doing. They have.
Yes.
So Obril released on that. So again, maybe 50% or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Similar.
We can go to 50.
Okay. And then this is building this product. TUK is a technical university. It can be involved in building physical products or digital products for these things.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Maybe TUK can do more. Yeah, can do more the heavy lift. Heavy lifting there, putting the platform and other together. So maybe you can put yourself 20% or something.
Yeah, no, even 25. You're talking
25. Yeah, put 25.
Okay. And then we're saying OUK.
Put MSM 5%.
MSM 5%.
5%. So now you have 80. Then 10 puts 10. 10.
This will be 5. So it should be 7.5.
5, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Or there's still one. Let me put this for TUK then, because I know we're going to be involved in development work here.
Yeah.
Okay. So it comes to 100. Okay then. So
my proposal would have been also, given that OUK is weighing so much on teacher development, professional teacher development,
Yeah.
then there should be a percentage that is leaning to that, since that is the core gist of
It's a core,
the
actually,
like
it's a core to develop those open learning and other things. I think,
Yeah.
OUP probably can do much more there because it's
yeah. Like here, these peer labs and peer-to-peer, these policy issues. I imagine because it's a learning component. But we should add an activity for that, I think, so that we capture it.
No, there was capacity building, there was all that was aligned to the teacher professional development. Where are they going to be conducted at?
That's true. We haven't written it as an activity, but it was here. I'll just get it from here. Something it was number 4. We're calling it this one interactive learning and also community engagement. But this is the one which maybe we can just add here so that the OUK component can be captured. I don't know if it's correct, Prof. I'll put interactive learning, or we can change it anytime. So in terms of percentage, here we can reduce where we will increase this one too. If we add on 5%, then I can
reduce took increase OUK.
So this becomes 12.5%.
12.5.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we have that spread. This can now be made to reflect on this document here. It's going to influence the distribution across this way.
Okay, Martin.
Yeah.
Okay, can you come back to the rationale of giving 25% to TUK?
Yeah, so here, let me explain what I see happening is that we're going to, I'll come to this document here. You need to build a platform. This is going to be a website, a web app, a mobile app. If you want, people in Kenya to see it and also in Ethiopia, then it's going to be a web app and it's covering both countries. This will involve prototyping, but also preparing a working prototype before we actually roll it out in the countries. It'll have to be tested. It involves a lot anyway, because we have to get the cloud resources and then we have to actually go to the site to make sure it's working. So that's what I see as a large part of what we're doing. And then I have to mobilize, or we have to mobilize people be on site to make sure that it's actually working the way we want. You see. And then we're also developing in an African context. African contexts are different from European. Yeah. We can discuss those things, but I'll tell you more about it.
But who will build the TPD framework?
TPD, the Teacher Professional Development Framework. You're talking of the place that teachers will be actually professionally trained. Again, UK will build it, but we'll work with OUK. Yes? Yeah, building the technical side of building, UK can build that, but then we will work with OUK because OUK will have the expertise for the instructional design, the actual teacher pedagogy on online. That will come from OUK. But then you see there's a development and design component, and then there's an instructional design component. The instructional design component is educational technology.
That's what I'm saying. In a way, OUK should also, the activities are almost similar there for OUK and TUK. So I was feeling that TUK is gaining so much over the OUK.
If you go to the open markets to design this website and web app, just that, before you even do the training, you see there are 3 platforms here. One is the website for the knowledge management. 2 is the mobile app that maps onto the website. The app is the repository. It's the one that takes information from and to the database. The website's in the front. And then number 3, you have to build the system that is for, let's say, interactive learning, e-learning. That's before you come in to building the pedagogy. Those are 3 systems we have to build. Then they have to work in Kenya and in Ethiopia. We don't even know the scope. We might be telling us to build these things in the village. So if we're going to go to the village to build these things, internet's an issue. We have to transport.
Although I think Martin, I think you're going too much into building. I don't think we are building much of we are doing the design. Because you are saying this is the future of this is how curriculum should be designed. You're not going to build it, and so you can just it's more of a design. The building part, I think the only thing you are building is really a knowledge management platform, because you want all this knowledge you collect for people to know and a community of practice. But building all these platforms so that you are not. This is not about implementing. It's more of just this design only.
Yeah, but now I'm saying
Design
you're sounding like
and
you know, as we like to build things, the kind of research that allow me to say it anyway. I know. You see, TOK believes in applied research. That's the kind of research we get into. We don't get into research for research's sake. Ours is applied. And when you get into that, you're talking of research and development. So even if we model it, we'll do the modeling and the design. But why would you then not want us to build? We'll be already building it as we are modeling and designing, because we have to do tests and prototyping. You're just talking of the final step. Yes.
Probably only the prototypes that you need to do rather than maybe some demos to show some proof of concept.
Yeah.
But not full development.
Yeah, but what you're saying is full development. That is scaling. But we'll be doing the sustainability, which is part of this project. We have to build in the model and the design and the testing, the sustainability. We also have to provide the gap. I mean, we're addressing a gap here. So we have to make sure that we have modeled for the gap and we have tested. So it's only the last stage, which is scaling, which is a full production that you're saying you want to outsource. Yeah, we can outsource that. That's fine. But either way, there are 6 stages of this. 5 out of 6 will be doing, 6 will not be doing. That's the one you're saying we leave out. That's the final development. It's a lot of work anyway, and I don't want to underestimate it, especially because of the African situation. We don't even know who we're building for yet. And if it's going to go to the rural areas, it's going to be very challenging, actually. So anyway, I'm not saying it. I'm just saying it just because I know the process, and I'm trying to tell you it's not as soft as it sounds.
What you can do, Martin?
Yeah.
Because you know that you worked in both contexts, so you know also in OUK the designing will not be so easy as you know. So I think you can just cut something out from TUK and
TUK's involvement. Even now, you see who's going to. There's a lot of work to be done with OUK, even from our side. If you remove, let's just say, I remove the building, all the testing I've been telling you we're doing. If we remove that so that we're equal to TUK, it becomes to OUK, it becomes 12.5.
No, not equal. You can have 20. The OUK have 17.
You know.
Remember, the money is not small. The money is not small.
No, Mzee, let me put it the other way. If you go to the open market, just go to the open market, ask people, let's give us a quotation for this one. It doesn't have to be us. You go and ask, and then for us, you see, we are going to be very competitive compared to the market. What I'm saying is this. If you say, for example, 12.5% to build the e-learning system, I'll just put it here. So TUK is involved in building the e-learning system and implementing. OUK is involved in building the pedagogical side of it. So we're equal partners in that e-learning system. You see, now we have an extra job here of building our knowledge management system and a platform for a community of practice. These are 2 platforms which have to be on websites and web apps. That's the extra. But if you don't give us that work, all we're doing is...
You know, this what we are using building, Bana. Is it building or configuring? Because at the end of the day...
Development. It's development. It has research and development. Maybe I use that term, research and development. And TUK is a technical university. We have to promote technical research, by the way. You know, if you keep on saying...
Okay. Let's go on. We just wanted to hear what you're doing here.
Yeah. So, okay. So that's what it's ended now. Now we have the spread. So now what I can do, unless you want us to do it now, we can spread these costs here horizontally. And now we will have exactly what fits in here. Sorry.
Those ones you can do. Those ones I think you can do later.
Yeah, those ones I can do after this. Yeah, I can do them later.
Because they are concerns that had been raised by Elizabeth, and we have to discuss them before we close.
Yeah. What were the concerns?
On the WhatsApp, actually, before we got into this, there's some concern. Maybe you can display them, because this one now, I think, Prof. Gatune, I think you're comfortable that the thing now can move.
His mic might be on mute.
Sorry, I'm off. Yeah. Let's move. We'll at least if we can complete that, we'll share with our people.
So look at what Elizabeth had said on the WhatsApp.
Yeah, she's saying that
when he said, I will not be available, but I'm happy to look at this tomorrow morning. It would be helpful to have a separate document that statements clearly the activities, where they take place, how long they are, who hosts them, format, physical or virtual, how many staff from the team are implicated, and any other cost-related notes that you think are needed. So will you be able to do that now that you have the...
Now, you see, Elizabeth has told you exactly what I was telling you. Isn't this detail? That's the detail that I can do it, of course. That's what I was proposing we do.
Very good. Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
So there's also another concern that was down there.
Okay. It's
was it up or down? I think, yeah. So if you can be able to... Okay, yeah, up here. Say, dear all, I have added more comments, but it would be important that we define who will take it up and synthesize everything, as there are still many protein pieces. The objectives have improved, but need to be aligned to outputs, as products results, and not just outcomes. From what I can see, outputs include a teacher competency framework, a knowledge platform, COPs. What are COPs?
Community of practice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, policy brief. This needs to be more clearly stated. Activities needed to be enumerated, and we need indicators. Only on that basis can I develop the knowledge management and the dissemination section. We still also need this, Yeah, I think that Professor Gatune has spoken to that. So
no. Don't go quickly over that. She said she wants indicators. You see, we've not discussed those indicators because we said we'll simplify the discussion. Indicators are things like, if you're going to do surveys or you're going to do, let's say, interviews, what indicators, what's the cause, what is it that you're investigating is what she's asking. And she's saying she needs them. We'll not discuss that. Yeah, I'm not saying we should discuss. I'm just telling you what she's saying. It's easier. You see, you can't do this budget properly without those things.
No, Martin. I think because we already have the activities, you can pick from there, and we have the outline of the budget.
Yeah, we do, but it's you see, the problem with generic work is that you might, when you get into the details, you're going to find that it's nuanced in a certain direction, and that nuance may not be accounted for in the budget. Unless we're saying we're having flexibility in how we're going to deal with that. If we're open and we're going to be flexible, then it's okay. We can work with the general one. If people are going to stick to this one as a kind of Bible, but now we have said is this, it's going to be that, then we get locked in, you see, early. That's what it means to go to this level of detail. But I think she's correct. To me, it's complicated when you don't get into the details early. That's how I feel, because now when you're trying, let's say we win the thing and then now we start getting into the details at that time, it becomes quite a job to try to unpack. Sometimes you have to backtrack on what you had said earlier. You see.
What's your suggestion then in the next 10 minutes before you close?
It means we have to conceive these. If we're going to follow what she has said here, we have to start conceiving what she means by these indicators that we're investigating, so that the activities are more precise and not general. Right now we have general activities. I think maybe as a realistic thing, I can put it up the way we have done, and then we can always provide, if people want to add something, they can add. I mean, we can say that. I don't know if that's agreeable. Because someone, you see, like Prof. Opata had suggested that we should also think of aligning those activities to the objectives and the outcomes. So she has freedom to do that, so that the objectives we have here will be more detailed, actually. If we see something's missing, or maybe there's a sub-objective, those kind of things. But we have a general umbrella, which is covering those costs. That way we can discuss costs at a much deeper level the next time we meet.
Okay, we don't have the luxury of time. So, and when you talk generally, because what we are thinking now, we have given you our concept, and you have the document. What Elizabeth needs is in the morning is to see those things that we have discussed.
Yeah, so we can give her these things. She may still ask questions on indicators, but it's okay. She can ask. Maybe.
Don't worry, you will answer.
Okay. What will I answer? Maybe Katune will be also keen to answer that one. But it's okay.
What?
We have something. We have something, so we can say we are not on zero. This one can still be put into the document. So what I can do, she's even said here, she's saying here that we have a separate document that has all this. She said that here. Separate document that states all these things. That separate document is this one. But I'll put it out in a way that incorporates these costs and the roles. I'll incorporate what we have put here so that it's now laid out in a way that she can understand.
Okay. So now we agree on this because teams have inputted the document, and I know now Prof. Katuna maybe might find some time to, have it now the way he wants it to flow. And now you also finish up with this one. Then the leads make sure that they submit all that is required. So can we say that by tomorrow, when we meet, we could be having everything?
Yeah, by tomorrow I can be specific. By tomorrow, this one will be laid out in this generic way, in a way that follows this structure. This structure has many things. If you look here on the left, you can see after the tasks, there are other costs. So I'll lay out the Excel sheet so that it does all the arithmetic, all the formulas will be in for these items. There's human resource we never discussed, operational costs. So I'll put in percentages to count for that. So when we are discussing, we can alter those percentages. So I can lay it out in Excel. Then we can discuss and fine-tune the Excel. And then once it's fine-tuned, Gatune can copy and paste it here. And it's going to resemble this. It's going to have lead organization, partner 2, partner 3, so it's easy to copy and paste.
So Martin, what you're saying?
Why don't just fill this one? Just a minute.
No. The reason why I'm there, this one doesn't allow us to fool around with it. You don't want to anyway, because this is a document that is fixed. It's better that we just copy and paste to transfer. We don't edit any formulas in here. We just copy and paste.
You don't edit the formula. I'm saying once you know the actual amount for each, once you put, because you just enter the activities and enter the amount from there, just transfer from the spreadsheet so that this one is more or less.
Yeah.
Because you just fill the task, say what percent, how much.
It's not just doing it. You see, what I have to do, I have to make sure, you see, when these tasks go 2.1, 2.2, 2. I have to make sure that all these tasks are agreed on first. We all agree on them. Somebody might have some other ideas, but let's just say we agree. And then once we have all agreed that this formula has calculated the sums, so it's going to produce the sums spread across P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, like that. Once that is done, and this is agreed, then you'll have a document where you can copy and paste here, here, here. Those are the tasks, and copy and paste here, here, here. If I do that here, I'll interfere with this document, which is not the best way. Anyway.
Have we not agreed on the task? We need to discuss the tasks again.
If we're sharing,
what we have been doing right now.
Yeah, but if we're saying that we want people to buy into it, and you want, like now, Elizabeth's having some fixed idea. She might come in with her own tasks. What if she comes in with her own tasks? Will you make an exception for Elizabeth? Or you tell her there's no.
The idea was we have a document tomorrow. We meet with Elizabeth. We try to see how to streamline it. Almost like we are running out of time. We cannot have another discussion to again discuss that.
Yeah. So what we
just have now to say we agree on this and we budget on this and we just say this is it.
Yeah. So yeah, I think Martin.
That means we don't give her a chance to weigh in. She might come with some changes.
No, don't worry. I think
we will give. I will meet with Elizabeth and we'll just work it out and just finish it.
Very good. So I think what we are saying, we can have an X1 tomorrow that is flowing. That is the whole research plan that is flowing. Then we have an X2, 3, 4, and 5. So that now what we need now to be doing, and I think we are already doing, is to get the support letters from the associate. I've already gotten the support letter from my ministry. Dr. Abi says he is also getting his support letter tomorrow from his ministry. So I think for us, Prof, in a way, we are ready on our side. So to support.
Yeah, that's good. We need those support letters. Yeah. So tomorrow we can meet, and this one will be in a format that is aligned to this matrix. It's safer. Just take it from me, Prof. It's safer that we have it separate. If you want, I can be the one to transfer this information here. But once we agree on this one, yeah, I can do it on your behalf. Just the transfer, because it's just a matter of transferring item by item here to replace the left column, and then transferring the whatever calculations we have here into these columns, and to make sure that the totals. The issue is that the totals, they add up down here. So I can make sure all that is working on this one. But let's first of all work on it in a document that is matching that one, separate. Then we'll do the transfer. It's the best way to work. Then it's clean. This document, we keep it clean, and it's as much their document. We don't necessarily need to interfere with it so much. And then we can download it from there.
So those are things that you'll agree with the Prof. Martin. So can we close? Because now I think we are all in the realization that at least the document is moving.
Yeah, it's moving. There's something I'm here. You see where I'm highlighting here in red? The budget here is 880. You see that? Euros.
Is that?
Yeah, those are euros, not Swiss francs, but it's euros. It's 880 euros on this document. That's what I see here. You see?
It's just that's an added. That is a calculator formula. It's what we will put. It will add up to that. It will adjust itself, isn't it?
Yeah, it will adjust to itself.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do we go with this one, or we go with the call? What the call is saying is something in Swiss francs. It gave us one.
We go with what?
We go with what's in the call, yeah? I think so.
I'm not sure what you're saying. You're asking we go with what?
Okay, let me show you the alternative. I'm just showing you now. This is the call here. Here's the call. Euros. In fact, it's not even Swiss francs, it's euros. It's 800,000 euros.
That's the maximum.
Yeah. Here on the document is showing as 880.
Because of that document is this just this not I don't think it's just if you go to that, you go to the format. This is a calculation. What you will do, you will enter your numbers. Yeah, just a minute.
Normally, like when you're applying for the grant, there's always the own contribution.
Yeah.
So in this instance, the example they've given is, for instance, you can apply for a total of 880, but then you say your own contribution is 10% of that.
Oh, yeah. That's correct.
They already said that there.
They already said
yeah. So
10%. Yes. Yeah, that's significant.
Because they even they indicated there in that budget, Martin.
Yeah.
They do. Yeah,
that's always a requirement.
It's very true. But so, Gatune, from a budgetary point of view, that's very significant. It is, because you have to reflect it in the budget, isn't it? The 10% contribution of Maastricht. It's something we cannot lose oversight of that. All right.
Of everyone, not only of Maastricht, of everyone.
Yeah. So what we will do is we will from the calculations. For instance, even if you do the 880, but then we say, for instance, O'Brien is getting 50,000.
Yeah.
But the amount that we are claiming, the total O'Brien's, the total cost of O'Brien's participation in the project is 50,000. But the amount that we are getting from the award is only 40,000. So it means O'Brien, and normally the own contribution, we can put it in terms of staff cost. So your staff, for instance, Professor Gatune will take maybe 200 hours to work on the project, but then 10 hours or 20 hours of his time is on the institution's contribution.
Yeah.
So that's why it's normally easier to calculate the total, the budgets by institutions according to the personal hours. So you have, for instance, the technical, the head technical personal hours, the amount differs from the other law, maybe the research assistants or something like that.
Yeah. So I like that because there's a human resource component here, and we can account for it in the budget then. We can. I mean, if we're saying there's a 10% contribution, it's actually coming through the human resource component. So I'll word this thing. I'll show you. Yeah, I'll show you how I lay it out, and then we can comment on it directly and change it on our own document. Yeah.
Okay.
So
can we close on that? Then you'll catch up with the Prof. Gatune. Prof. Gatune will catch up with Elizabeth.
So yeah, if you can just give me something, maybe Martin.
Yeah, I'm going to work on this thing.
Mid.
Yeah, I'll work on it tonight. Yeah. By tomorrow, you have something.
Yeah, so that by the time I meet with Elizabeth, we can meet, because I'll meet with Elizabeth tomorrow. Okay. And we'll look at it and try to, because now, yeah, so as I had mentioned, our own internal deadline is okay, ask for an extension, it's already passed.
Yeah.
But we cannot continue. Yeah, we just move with what we have. So you can never,
sure.
Sometimes you don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good.
Yeah, sure. The worst thing is to get that on the presentation. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think on that, then Martin, you still continue sharing the folders so that people can put and keep on checking, because when I check the folder, I only see I didn't see any CV, so I don't know where people are putting the CVs.
Yeah,
and the mandate set.
Yes, let me go to those folders, because you're right. The people are not uploading their CVs. Even I've not uploaded mine.
I've not.
Yeah,
I will upload it.
Okay. So I've created.
I have one somewhere.
Sure. Since we're all here now, I just want to mention that I'm going to share this document on the group. It's one link only, but this one link has everything. And if we just focus on this one link to reduce confusion, there's 4 items right now. It has the, very critically, what you're talking about, the CVs. The annex is here so that you know the format. The submission folder is here. So this is one link. Then we have number 2, Annex 4. Annex 4 is the mandate. This mandate has a form. This form is here, the first link. That's the Annex 4. The submission folder, once it's signed, we said there's no stamp. Yeah, is here. Okay. Then number 3, we had said that we have now what we are calling the draft, the one we are working on. The draft is here, and then the annex is here. So that one is going to be a copy and paste into the document. So it will be a copy and paste from the RAF into Annex 1. And Annex 1 is the one below here. Okay. Then we have number 4, which is the new one, which is coming. I've yet to put the link, but when I put it up, I'll put the link. So we are saying it's the work schedule, which is combined with the, I should call it work schedule and budget draft table, the one we've been going through. So this one is going to be in the format that's ready to be uploaded on the final budget, which is Annex 6. So this one's at the Google Doc. Yes, you can go and comment on the Google Doc.
You can add another link, Martin.
Yes.
For the associate support. So you need just create a link for where we shall drop those letters from the ministries and any other.
Okay. So this, for example, the ministry.
As it letters of support or letters of collaboration or whatever they are.
Okay. Even from Ethiopia, I think maybe. So associate letters of support. Okay, I've added that.
And you have to talk to KICD. I don't know whether you've talked to them.
Yeah, they want me to write, and it's a process, but they'll get involved. It's only that we will not have it on time for this document. But
no, just get someone to write you a letter. What you need is just a letter. Okay.
Okay, it comes from the director. It takes time, but I can do that. I'll just send them. I'll send tomorrow. So. Okay. Okay. So
I think yeah. With that we said.
Yeah, with that we're okay.
Okay. So I think we can close at this. I want to thank everyone. Of course, everyone who has come. I can see Dr. Abi is here, by the way. I thought you had dropped. Dr. Abi, say something, but you know, your side is getting the heavy resources here.
I'm actually listening to the whole discussion, and I enjoy really the way you are articulating things and the way you are justifying things, and I'm really happy to be with you, and I learned a lot actually. As far as the letter is concerned, I will try to have it tomorrow, and I will send.
Very good, very good. I think we are grateful that you have you've done a lot. Appear, you're also very important. Can say something as we close.
Sorry, no, nothing.
Rael, you are adding up some few things on the document. Professor Opata said that.
Yeah, there's a section that she shared in the evening, and I'm supposed to add some few things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll try to do that.
Yeah. Remember, you are to be adopted by Maastricht, so we are also looking at you to improve the document and make it so fine. Prof. Katunda, you remember there is a Rael Ongwari who was from Moi, but he said she drops Moi. Now you'll know how to deal with that. Prof.
That is easy. You can hear me?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that is easy. Well, if we get the project, that is as we can contract somebody easily. I can just I'll be able to work out that one.
No, Rael is there because of that. Professor Opata, closing remarks.
Yeah, I just thank everybody. I don't have much to say for now. Thank you.
Okay. So, Prof. Gatuna, maybe you can just close for us, and maybe we now come back again. You tell us whether we can come back again here at 8 tomorrow, or what you want us to do.
I had a closing remark.
Oh, yeah, sure, Martin. Yeah. Martin, kindly.
Okay, mine is that I'll do minutes for this meeting, and then I'll put in the group, but I'll have some actionables there. So I think the thing to do is if there's no time to read the minutes, just read the actionables, because I'll put people's names there with the kind of roles that we are saying we're giving everyone as we're going towards the end. So one of the things I'll do is I'll check the folders to see who has not submitted their CV or mandate, and then put your name in the actionable that you need to do that. So that was just a point. Yeah.
So actually, you should also find a way of removing all those other details from the wall. People seem to be confused, and also all those other details in the rough draft. The rough draft appears sometimes even to place something it becomes difficult. I don't know how you. The best thing is to remove completely rather than just canceling, so that it can flow. Maybe that's what I noticed with the document, as well as on the those up here.
All right, I'll simplify the document. But the other thing is on the wall. I'll only be sharing one link now. The one link, even also you, when you share, just share that one link, but it's not a different one.
No problem. We shall keep on resharing, and of course, remember to give a rubric so that people can follow. Yeah. It was difficult for even maybe Elizabeth to place it. Oh, Prof. Julius, I know, man, you have not eaten, but I heard people telling you to eat. So you can close for us.
Anyway, it's fine. Anyway, they went, everyone. Yeah, I mean, Madagascar, actually a very rural part of Madagascar for some. I came here and traveled 3 hours from the town city.
Okay.
I'm getting acclimatized.
Very good, very good. Yeah.
Anyway, hopefully, if you can get this thing, hopefully we can work out something tomorrow and have it. At least I need to give to our people by Friday.
Very good.
So that they can now do all these organizations, they have their own bureaucracies. As I said, today is what they had wanted, but we agreed. I said we have to move it so that,
Okay, thank you. I think as a ministry, we are happy to be as the associates. So we're also following up to to see that you get every support from our side. A letter is already written down, so yeah, let us go for it. Maybe if you want us to meet tomorrow in the evening, we can organize a meeting.
Yeah. For me, I may have another meeting tomorrow. We'll see, but I may also have another meeting tomorrow. Maybe, but earlier, maybe unless later.
No problem. You'll tell us. You tell us during the day, like, just as you have always told us.
Okay, so
thank you guys, and have a good night. And maybe let's meet again next time. Thank you so much, and have a good night.
Thank you. Good night.